Google Drive with a .gitignore-like option. With Git and HG, etc., you can define .gitignore file that will prevent certain folders, file types from being saved to the repo. Is there anything of that nature for Google Drive? In the preferences, I see I can select a parent folder to not be synced, but I see nothing along the lines of subfolders. Envis OS X.
The way I deal with this is to disable starting Google Drive on system startup. Create a bash script to clear temporary and log files first, and then run Google Drive. Schedule that script to start on system boot. I know it's far from perfect, but it's something.
For Windows, I use a simple PowerShell script that relocates the desired folders, node_modules, to a different location outside Google Drive, and replaces them with symbolic links so everything keeps working. It can be found in this repo, along with the instructions to set it up.
Symbolic links could be used in this case. Google Drive doesn't seem to detect symbolic links, so you can put your node_modules somewhere outside the drive, then inside the drive create a symbolic link to node_modules. Example structure. Linux, Windows, and OS X all have symbolic links. If you run into issues with your application not working with symbolic links, then create a hard link.
This problem bothers me for years, and I recently found a better way to deal with it. The main idea is to use .gitignore-like option to back up the files. So just use .gitignore directly by the powerful version control tool, Git. My OS is Windows 10. I perform the following commands under Windows subsystem for Linux. Assume that there are many repositories under local/codes. Each of them is remote connected to GitHub, etc. or not. Like the following structure. Despite using GitHub to remote backup is convenient, the goal is to backup in Google Drive. Step 1. Set up local and local. And we make another directory backup, which is the backupping folder for Google Drive. Step 2. Set up backup in backup. For more details about submodule update, you can refer to this link. The magic here is that we set the remote in backup so that it will be a remote repository for backup. After that, all git pull will follow all.gitignore recursively under all directories. So now the backup folder is like. Without any files specified in .gitignore. Just like a local GitHub. Step 3. Setting Google Backup and Sync on the folder, backup/codes. Step 4. Keep updating files. In local. In backup. Some concerns. Duplicate files? Yes. It's a feature, not a bug. Since for each GitHub repository, the maximum storage size is 100 MB, so the total disk usage should not be large after filtered by .gitignore. To backup is to copy files on different devices. By making backup folder in another hard drive, we can now backup files to different hardware, to Google Drive and to GitHub simultaneously. This idea comes from learning more features in Git. I watched the missing semester version control, Git. Anish introduces very clearly, and I learn a lot about Git. And the part that he creates local Git remote makes me come up with this idea.
It might be third-party solution, but it works for me. If you are a developer and are familiar with Git and any cloud Git repository, GitHub, GitLab, etc., move your project outside of Google Drive and push it to your private repo, create it if needed. If your project already has Origin set up, you can either add additional remote for your Git repo, or fork the project and make Origin to point to your private repo.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.